the Alaska Highway. This road is epic. For the last few days, we brought you along as we drove 600 miles of the highway from Dawson Creek to Watson Lake. Now we're driving the rest of the route, which is arguably the most stunning portion. We are about to enter into the most remote stretches of the Yukon, heading straight into the arms of the highest coastal mountain range on Earth. Join us. As we leave Watson Lake, we now officially enter the Yukon stretch of the Alaska Highway. The Yukon Territory is a vast place, covering an area of about 183,000 square miles, or twice the size of the United Kingdom. The population here is only 43,000, the second smallest population in any Canadian territory or province. Only Nunavut has fewer people. Of those 43,000 people, 65% live in the capital of Whitehorse. That gives you a sense of just how sparsely populated this territory truly is. Boundless and unbridled, the Yukon stretches from here to the Arctic Ocean, a land filled with mountains, glaciers, tundra, boreal forest, and Arctic coastline. This place is big, open, and wild. The Alaska Highway slices through the southwest corner of the Yukon, and our first stop is Teslin, where our paths cross with some pretty awesome folks. We are here with our new friends Jules, Flavia, and George. Everyone's here on the bus. Hey. We are having an impromptu little get-together that we did not anticipate, and that is one of the best things that happens on the road. Hands down, the best part of travel is meeting new friends along the way.
So how do you guys like the rum?
Yeah.
Very good.
Very
You like
good.
it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very aromatic. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
Jules is from Quebec, and he's hitchhiking his way to northern Yukon where he will work over the winter. We picked him up today and insisted he stay with us as long as our paths coincide. It's getting really cold out there at night. George and Flavia are from Switzerland, and they are traveling the world in their awesome camper van, which you will see tomorrow. When we pulled into the campsite today, George came over to us and said, "Hey, we saw you on the Steps Over channel." That was so cool.
Oh, you cleared the trees on your back.
So Jules does tree planting, or he has, like, the last 2 summers he's done.
Yeah? You guys, how many trees do you think I've planted in my 3 summers?
Ooh.
How many do you think?
Well, I kind of got the inside scoop, so I feel like I should guess.
I think you can still try to guess it.
Hundreds, 100,000.
100,000?
In 3 months.
3 summers.
3 summers. Ah,
yeah.
okay.
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah? I'm almost at 1/3 Yeah.
So George and Flavia already ate, so they head off to their van, and we dig in for some delicious pad thai with Jules.
All right. For breakfast, for coffee, and so.
Sounds great, yeah.
Okay.
Buonanotte.
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 Good night.
That's how you say
Bonne
good
nuit.
night in, bonne nuit.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Sí. Okay. Oh, now thank you very much. Good
I'll see
night.
you in the morning. Yeah. This is good for you? Yeah. You also always have seconds if you're Buen provecho.
Yeah.
Bon appétit.
Bon appetit.
Bon appétit.
Well, you say it way better than we do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything, guys.
No, our pleasure.
As I said before, Flavia and George are traveling the world in their awesome little camper van. Their destination is the same as ours, Argentina. So we know we'll meet again somewhere on the route.
Here is the heater, water and sea. Here we have toilet. And this, the soak here, it's a vacuum.
Oh, wow.
No chemical.
It's
no
like
chemical.
it's like composting toilet.
Yes, it's composting. Yeah.
Nice.
In 2 hours, the paper it's
Wow.
no chemical.
That's beautiful.
To gas.
Wow. Oh, nice storage. Wow. Beautiful. Wow. Oh yeah.
Table, chair.
It's a lot of storage.
Storage.
Yeah.
2 bed long.
Wow. It's really beautifully made. We're gonna have a good Italian coffee.
Yeah.
Here with Flavia and George. And the beautiful van. Look at this. It smells so good. You happy?
Yes, of course. I have a coffee cake. I love coffee.
Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Salute.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, and see you maybe in Mexico.
Yeah.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, of course.
El año próximo. Yeah, Mexico.
This coffee is really good. We can put it right here. The thing will fit.
It will fit there.
Right.
Yeah. So Flavia, would you like to
Yeah, I'll help.
put it on there?
Yeah, sure.
And this one will go inside. We have a space in the garage.
It looks really nice there.
Yeah, it's the perfect spot.
It's a perfect place for the Igraki van.
Yay!
Yeah, it's really nice.
All right, it's time to hit the road. Let's go.
We are cooking now. Our next destination is Whitehorse, the capital of the Yukon. We're really feeling the pressure now. Every night it gets colder and colder. There is a nip in the air and we have got to get to Alaska before we start getting snow. Luckily, the sun is high and the drive is absolutely beautiful. And we seem to have hit this band of fall colors at just the perfect time. I have my makeup face on, which can only mean one thing. We are filming for a music video. We are on the Alcan and we just happen to be here when the colors are just going crazy. We didn't plan this. It's just lucked out to be this way. And it's perfect because we have a music video that we've been working on slowly that involves the 4 seasons. And so here we are in the most spectacular display of fall that we've seen in a long time. And so we are capturing a little bit of footage here for that song. I just can't believe we're here right when it's doing this. It's just so lucky. Now you're flying high over sights you thought you'd never see. Hail to the wind, hail to the seas, hail to passing time. Come on down on the seas. Hail to the face and the sails that they raise. Hail to the peace you find when every chain within you breaks. Oh, so you flew and you grew and the things that you knew, they moved like broken pieces shifting before your eyes, and you realized. We are in Whitehorse, Yukon, and filling up the diesel, as you can see, also paying the mortgage, as we like to call it. And we got here yesterday, kind of in the late afternoon, early evening, and we decided that since snow is quickly coming to the passes in Alaska, we're gonna keep moving, which makes us feel a little sad because we know this is a really cool town, but we also know we're gonna pass through here on the way back. So we decided we are gonna leave Whitehorse, the exploration of Whitehorse, until our return when we come back down the Alcan. Onward, onward. Where are we heading to today, Ben?
As far as we can make it. Destruction Bay, probably.
Destruction Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of going slow because we're getting lots of footage, lots of photos as we go. and just enjoying the beautiful fall colors. It's amazing to be here at this time of year. So here we go. We leave Whitehorse excited about what's to come. So far on the Alaska Highway, we have just kissed the upper reaches of the Canadian Rockies and then flowed right back down into rolling boreal forests. We're not complaining. We have been mesmerized by the autumn colors. But our time in mountains has been pretty minimal. But that is about to change. We are driving west from Whitehorse to Kluane Lake, and just wait till you see what lies ahead. This drive. We are heading straight towards the Saint Elias mountain range. This is the highest coastal mountain range on Earth. It is also the steepest. Within the span of just 6 short miles, these mountains thrust from sea level to 18,000 feet. No other mountain range on Earth has such a drastic change in elevation in such a short distance. It's hard to put into words the feeling of driving a road like this. Rugged, remote, astounding natural beauty all around. And these mountains are still rising at a rate of about 4 millimeters per year. The range is being thrust up as the Yucatan plate plows into the North American plate at a rate of about 2 inches per year, or 50 millimeters. That's a lot by geology standards, by the way. This drive is also an awesome opportunity to get some killer photos of Bobby on the road. We are coming up to Kluane Lake, the largest lake contained entirely within the borders of the Yukon at 158 square miles. Something startling happened here in 2016. For thousands of years, the lake was fed by the Slims River, which itself was fed by the nearby Kaskawos Glacier. But in May 2016, the meltwater from the glacier suddenly rerouted to pour mostly into the Kaskawos River. With its main water source gone, Kluane will eventually become a basin with the now tiny Slims River snaking through it.
Today we drove from Whitehorse all the way to Kluane Lake. We were not planning to spend the night over here, but we found this really cool spot to spend the night. We have a really nice view of the mountains and the lake. And I saw a group of people here set up with tripods and cameras, and they're camping on the beach because tonight there might be northern lights. If we get to see the northern lights, it's gonna happen between 9:30 and 2 a.m. I believe. So we're gonna spend the night over here and continue our journey tomorrow.
We rest up at Kluane Lake, taking in the scenery, enjoying a beach campfire on a chilly, chilly night, and hoping we might just get to see the northern lights. And near Kluane Lake is an interesting ghost town called Silver City. Here we see a glimpse into the past. You can only imagine what life was like for early settlers here, braving the long cold winters in drafty log cabins, hundreds of miles from the nearest city. It must have been quite an experience. In the early 1900s, the area surrounding Kluane Lake experienced a short-lived gold rush. In 1903 alone, 2,000 claims were staked in the region, and a small outpost sprang up into being here at the outlet of Silver Creek. Within no time, Silver City had a post office, a regional mining office, and barracks for the Northwest Mounted Police. The gold rush was short-lived though. The area just did not yield the amount of gold expected, and Silver City ended up being a city that just was never meant to be. We hit the road, but we don't make it too far. There's an important site just around the bend that we do not want to miss. We are now passing over what was once the mouth of the Slims River. Before 2016, the Slims was a vibrant 150-meter wide braided river that poured glacial meltwater into Kluane Lake. Now it is this: wide mudflats that frequently kick up dust storms over the lake. To date, the sudden change to the Slims is one of the world's most drastic documented ecological changes directly linked to climate change.
We made it to the historic mile marker, 1,061 miles. We are right now in one of the old sections of the highway. The highway used to go right up there. Now we are on the old road. As you can see, the road used to pass through here and go all the way there. And now that's where the new road is. Now this is pretty heavy. The soldiers could complain if they wanted to, but there wasn't anyone to complain to. They could run off if they wanted to run off, but there wasn't anywhere to run to. They were there. Can you imagine? Just being in a miserable place, cold, hot, mosquitoes, humid, crazy conditions, you know?
I can't imagine what it was like to drive on the original road, the first pass basically that they did build in 8 months. We read that some parts of it had a 25% grade, which is crazy. The worst grade that the highway has now is 10%, which is still, you know, quite something, but 25%? Basically, this road, the first iteration of the road, was really only passable with like military vehicles.
Look at this view, it's amazing. These plaques are full of a lot of interesting information and a lot of historic facts. So it's awesome to see how the highway basically changed this region. And it also changed the life of the native in some ways in a positive way, in some ways in a negative way. Right here we can see this picture of the kids taken into residential schools that we know that the Catholic Church just recently apologized for all the bad things they did to these kids. But it's good that it's being acknowledged here in the history they're telling about the highway. And they're also giving them recognition for helping build the highway. They actually serve as guides to direct the engineers to the existing trails that they had.
1/3 of all the soldiers building the road were African American. Many came from the southern US and had never experienced a cold northern climate. The US Army segregated African Americans and white soldiers at the time. Listen to this 1992 interview with Joseph Haskin, an African American with the 93rd Regiment. So let's listen.
The treatment we got while we were there, while I was in service, was barbaric to me. Barbaric. Anything these white officers said, I mean, that's what it was. And I don't think it should have been that way because, after all, we're all the same people, just different in skin. That's all.
The attitude towards the black troops came right from the top. The U.S. Army commander in Alaska didn't want black soldiers in the North at all, but he was promised that these troops would be kept apart, and that's exactly what happened in many places.
Well, like in Skagway, we couldn't even go into the little town. They wouldn't allow us to go into the little town. You know, we were confined to the camp area. Well, first of all, they didn't want the blacks to mingle with white women. That was the whole thing. And that's the way it was.
1 month after that historic moment when 2 bulldozers met in the woods, the completion of the Pioneer Road was celebrated here at Soldier Summit on November 20th, 1942, just 8 months after construction began. We are now in the final stretch, Kluane Lake to the Alaska border. This drive is remote and spectacular. The Saint Elias Range rises to the west, and we are surrounded by nothing but pristine and expansive wilderness. Up here, the roads really have a hard time with the freeze-thaw cycles, and we're navigating a lot more patchy road repairs, potholes, and frost heaves. We find a boondocking spot to park and sleep our last night in Canada before a very exciting next day. Today is a very exciting day. We are in Beaver Creek, Yukon, and about to cross over to Alaska. We're pinching ourselves like, this is finally happening. We finally got ourselves here. Bright and early, we are back on the road and headed straight for the border with Alaska. The day seems to match our spirits. The sun is high, the roads are clear, and Alaska seems to be calling our name. All around us, we can feel the shift. The autumn leaves have fallen and the air is crisp. Winter is just around the bend. We can feel it. We have eked out every drop of Alaska highway that we could, trying to strike that balance between getting to our destination in time, but not at the expense of enjoying the journey. We passed through the small town of Beaver Creek, the westernmost town in all of Canada, and then it's onwards to the border.
We made it to Alaska! Here we are. After 3 long years of waiting, we finally made it. And now we are ready to explore this beautiful state and write the next chapter on the Are We There Yet journey.
Yep. This is one of those cool spots in the world where you can stand in 2 different countries at the same time. So right now, I am straddling Canada and the USA. Super cool. Okay, right now I am in Canada and you are in
United States.
We're gonna have an international kiss.
There you go.
Here we are also on the 141st meridian. It's the 141st meridian of longitude, which marks the boundary between Yukon and Alaska. It says it extends from the Arctic Ocean to Mount Saint Elias, I believe it's pronounced, a distance of 2,475 kilometers, which is 1,538 miles. The border between Canada and the United States is the longest undefended boundary in the world.
Ready to leave our mark here?
Ready to leave another sticker. Now this is fun because we're putting it next to the sticker of our friend Jess Rambo with the painted buffalo bus, and next to a sticker about Wisconsin. So.
And next to our friends from the Graki band.
Yeah, and from Igraki Ivan. So we feel like we're leaving little baby Bobby here among friends.
Beautiful.
what a journey it has been. 1,200 miles from Dawson Creek to the Alaska-Canada border, we have seen incredible sights, learned fascinating history, experienced very unique places, and made new friends. Our Bobby bus was a champion the whole way through, absolutely rocking this drive. 3 years after the first of many failed attempts, we finally conquered the Alaska Highway and find ourselves in Alaska. But the journey's not over yet. We still have to get ourselves up and over 3 mountain passes before the first snow, and every night it's getting colder and colder. Join us as we make a mad and beautiful dash across Alaska next time on Aren't We There Yet?
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like.
Subscribe to our channel.
Send us a comment below, and for exclusive content and a behind-the-scenes view of the Aren't We There Yet journey,
Join us on Patreon.
see you over on Patreon.